Starting.
Now.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
We are live.
Woohoo!
Okay, so welcome back to the Northern Nerd Network. My name is Dan Schessel, and the title of the show is Convention Tips this week. And I will just pass off everyone else's introductions to themselves. So I will let the first one in the list there go.
Who's the
You know
first?
who you are.
No, me? Oh, I'm Sam. I'm here. I've been doing conventions for a gazillion years, so I'm here. I don't know. Dan was like, "Just come." I was like, "Okay." That was really what happened. I'm here.
And who else is in our panel today?
My turn? Ooh. Hey guys. I'm Chelsea. I just love nerdy things in general, and I've known Trina and Dan for a long time. And when they started putting together the podcast, they were like, "You like nerdy things. You should come talk about nerdy things with us." And I said, yes, I should.
And that's how this all became.
Woohoo!
So we are just going to start off by, I'm going to ask everyone how their week was. So let's go with Chelsea first. Chelsea, how was your week? What did you do? What was exciting? What happened to you?
My week was very good. My week was work-filled. Work is kind of short-staffed right now, so I was working 12-hour shifts, and then I worked a 48-hour shift over the weekend. So,
Ew.
yeah.
Yeah. That's nasty.
Yeah, but with the weather being nice, it's kind of great. I can take clients out and do all kinds of fun things. So, lots of time outside at the park, enjoying the sunshine.
While it lasts.
Yes, that is the key.
Okay, Samantha, you've had a fairly exciting, time off.
Oh yeah.
The reason why you weren't here even last week was because you were at where?
I was at Dragon Con! Ah, oh my god, it was fantastic. It is so amazing, and oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, Dragon Con is over the weekend in Atlanta. It was hot, and people are like, oh, there's no such thing between a wet heat and a dry heat. That is a lie. There was definitely a wet heat, to the point where you go down there and you're like, I'm just walking through other people's sweat, and this is fantastic. This feels great.
Get out of the shower and you never get dry.
No, and but it's really cool because this convention is huge and it's over 5 hotels, and the 3 main ones, so the Hyatt, the Marriott, and the Hilton, they're all connected by pedways. So you just kind of meander between hotels and talk to people and see new costumes, and it is ridiculous. And the hotels are different there than they are here. They're all open atriums all the way up, so it's 50 floors. So you're standing in the lobby and you look up and you just see 50 floors of rooms. So it looks like you're I don't know, trapped in an animal or something. Or has anybody seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the prison, right? It just goes up and up and up and up and up and up, and all the rooms are on the outside, and you're just like, yeah. So it was huge, and there was something happening basically on every floor, and it was nuts. And I went with some of my really good cosplay friends here, and we had a blast. And it goes 24 hours. It's like Vegas, but for costuming. So it'd be like, oh, we'll get up at 6 to go for breakfast. And then you head back to the room and maybe nap or maybe crack open a drink. And then you would just start getting ready, and then you'd hit the convention floor and you'd meander for a couple hours. And then you'd, I don't know, walk back up to the room and go get another drink or have another drink at one of the bars there. And you just were wandering and talking and meeting new people and seeing things. And, oh my god, it was ridiculous. And the vending area was really tiny, so if that's what you're looking for, that's not where to go. This is basically let's hang out and have a good time in costume. Panels were pretty cool. Oh, and one of the neatest things that they did at this one that I've never seen anywhere else, it's called Dragon Con TV. So if you're in one of the 5 hotels, it's playing 24 hours, and it is the convention, but on your hotel TV menu thing that, where they usually be like, these movies or whatever. And it'll be like skits with some of the actors that are there, or it'll be like funny spoofs, or it'll be a panel that you missed or couldn't go see, or whatever. And you're just like...
That's pretty sweet that they've got the panels recorded and airing on the hotel TV. That is pretty rad. So, amazing panel that I really, really want to see, but I can't. Oh, wait, what's that? I can go back to the comfort of my room at the end of 12 hours of being on my feet and watch it on my television?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it's really kind of great. And and the hotel, the elevators in the hotel are, they're interesting. Basically, it's like, get on it regardless if it's going up or down, because you will not get on any other way.
Any other way.
Yeah, they're just jam-packed. And it's one of those things where you're standing in there, and you look around, and you're like... Okay, so there's Kitty Pryde, and then there's a Doctor Who character, and then there's somebody else from something, some anime that I don't know. I'm bad. I don't know all the animes. I'm sorry. And you'll be like, and then there's Wolverine, and then there's a Joker, and then there's the Slender Man, and you're just like, my God, this is the best ever. And yeah, everybody there was really nice, very friendly, very hospitable. Very welcoming. Like, even if you left like the convention zone and you were out like in costume, like blocks away, people were all like, "Oh, it's great, let's take pictures." Like, the hotel staff just loved it, and they love this time of year. And like, it was like, literally, there's a Starbucks in the Marriott, and it would close for an hour from like 2:30 to 3:30 or 3:30 to 4:30 or something like that, just so they could clean and restock and open right again. And so yeah, it was. Oh my God. So
Sam, the question of the day is, what costume and/or costumes were you rocking while you were down there?
So I brought 8.
8.
I figured.
Did you use all 8? That's what I want to know.
I wore 7 out of the 8.
Oh.
Oh my God, yeah. It was one of those weird. I never got it when people are like, oh yeah, we went to San Diego, we changed 2 or 3 times, or we went here and changed. I never got it. Until I went to Dragon Con, and that is just what you do. Because when you go back to your room, you're like, oh, I did that for a couple hours. I'm going to put on something new. Or you realize your costume is way too warm for that convention floor. Because even though that AC is going full blast, you got 60,000 people shoved into a room, and you're just like, I can't. Oh, God, it's hot. So, I wore my Arkham Asylum Harley. I wore Miss Marvel. I wore my classic Harley. I wore my Princess Leia Harley. As you can see, there's a theme of Harley going on here. Oh God, what else did I wear? I wore like Mad Love 90 from Harley, and like it was just, you were just like, I wore everything in my suitcase and variations then and of, and yeah. Oh, and I think I broke my toe. All of a sudden one day I was like, my toe really hurts. And like, all my costumes have high heels. And everything really hurts. And it's like 3 times the size it should normally be. Oh well, just keep going. It's Dragon Con. Oh my God. So yeah, I was going to try and Skype with you, and so you could see the epicness of Dragon Con. But
it was pretty busy there, though, eh?
So busy, and like it was just back-to-back things, and there was a lot of drinking. I will admit, I was like, I'm very happy all the time. And Wi-Fi down there was like poop. So like basically my phone was in airplane mode and on Wi-Fi the entire time. So there was no like, how am I gonna contact people? But yeah, it was pretty fantastic. It's definitely an adult convention, so throwing that out there. Kids were there, like, there was a couple of kids there during like the day and stuff, but it was all adults, and it's more of a adult con. It's Vegas.
Yeah.
But for costuming.
Well, that sounds absolutely awesome. I want to go to Dragon Con one of these times. But I will just get into my week. Like I said last time, I don't know if you missed it. Trina and I, we stopped watching TV because we're waiting for the fall TV to come in, and so we've been playing, board games. So we played some more Dice Masters. We're getting into that a little bit more, but that kind of got interrupted because I started playing Minecraft on Xbox One because it came out on Xbox One. I had to play it, so I started kicking Trina upstairs, and I haven't really seen her all week. So the other thing is Destiny came out at the end of this week as well. So I started playing that, and yeah, I started playing a lot of video games this week. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to. Trina's like, I haven't seen you for a week.
You haven't.
I haven't. And I even went out on Wednesday with you guys, with Samantha there, to do extra lightsabering.
Yeah, we did.
And yeah, Trina didn't make it to that either. So
we talked about a lot of costuming, and I was texting her away on Facebook.
It was like Trina was there.
It really was. Yeah. So,
In
Dan's
text
gonna
form.
make a new costume.
I am. I have the plan out for all the stuff. I got it all.
You got it all? Like you
Yeah.
got the foam and stuff?
No, I don't have the phone.
Okay, because I have the foam.
Okay.
You have to send me the pattern, or I could give you the foam. I don't know.
I have to make the pattern, but I know what I'm doing. Like I know.
Okay. Because
I
there's printable ones online all the time.
I don't want a printable one. I got it. I got a design already made up.
You're gonna freeball it? Jeez.
No, I know what I'm doing.
Alright.
Surprisingly enough. Aside from all of this, my trade is installation, and surprisingly, we do a lot of metal work, which means I have to design really intricate different types of metal stuff for piping, for different vessels, and for different stuff. So I understand curves, and I understand how designs work, and I can do the armor plating. I know I can do
You've
it.
got the skills.
I have the skills.
All
I'll
right.
do it. It'll be fine.
Okay. It's your costume.
It'll look awesome too.
Oh, do you want to see my my cape
Sure.
I've been working on?
That's the other thing. I need a cloak. I gotta figure out how to make a cloak. I don't know how to sew, so that's
I got it.
outside of that realm.
So, it's right there. So, I made a cowl neck cloak thing.
Ooh.
And then it's got like a little point.
Ooh, fancy.
And it's fully lined. I'm very excited by it. And I don't know if you can you see my stitching? Can you see my? No, we can't see
No,
it at
it
all.
just turns black.
It's fine. But I am super excited for it. Like, it's fully lined. It's fully lined.
That looks
Wow.
awesome.
But it looks better in like person, because this is gray, not black. And yes, that's red, and that's black, and like all the detailed stitching and stuff. I'm very excited by it. And this costume that we've been working on, I've decided I'm going to learn how to use scale mail and make like a chainmail gauntlet and a bra, because why not, right? Sith can use that, can't they?
So if anybody's out there wondering what she's talking about, like this costume thing, we are trying to do. Can you explain that a little bit more to people so that they understand what we're talking about right now?
Basically, the Edmonton Arts Council does those free lightsaber trainings that me and Dan and Chelsea all go to.
Except for Chelsea hasn't been to for quite a while.
I keep telling you, working 12-hour shifts, short staffed. Otherwise, I would be there.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to teach the class, substitute teach the class once or twice while Janine and Mackie were out of town, and that was super fun.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is to get more interest in it. They want to do like fan-made trailers kind of thing for it. So we all need costumes. So
So we'll employ some of the stuff that we learned over the the course of the training, so to say, and use it to come up with some awesome lightsaber fights for camera. And come out with some trailers for people.
If you guys happen to need some choreo.
That gal right there? Yeah. Well, I don't know what Janin's going to do for the stuff. He's talking about writing a script or whatnot, but... We'll see.
I have no idea what's going to happen with all this. All I know is I got to come up with some kind of costume. But I got a really good idea. Really good. You're going to like it.
Well, you haven't sent me the photo yet.
There's no photo. It's a drawing.
Well, you haven't sent me that yet.
Well,
Remember we were talking about drawings and my stick figure with lightsabers?
I'll send you the drawing.
Okay. Yeah. I'm very excited.
Anyways, so let's just get into our news items for the week. Chelsea, what do we have for our news items?
Alrighty, the rundown this week. On the docket first, announcements of the new iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, and all the fancy new business that comes along with those.
Did I send you guys any of the information on the iWatch? Not the iWatch, sorry. The Apple Watch?
No, there were no links for the Apple Watch, just for the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus.
I apologize for that. That was my fault.
God.
There was also
down on the job, Dan. Jeez.
What is this?
There's also an Apple Watch that came out. It's not really all that exciting. They don't really have a lot of people don't really see the big need for them. I think this kind of looks kind of cool because it's more like spy gear to me. I don't know. There's a few things that it does kind of like neat, but overall it's just like, what, you're gonna do all this little fancy stuff and scrolling and.
Well, you've seen the spoofs, right? Where people like take a hair tie and then they put their like phone on their arm and they're like, "Yeah, see that's my iWatch." You've seen it? Come on, I am not the only person that has seen that. Don't judge me.
It's my Android watch.
Where's your Android watch? That's good.
Anyways, we'll talk about the iPhone a little bit here. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, much bigger phones than their previous or predecessors, which is a real big plus for me because I don't like the little tiny iPhones that they have out right now. Plus, they have this new thing that's on them is the Apple iPay or whatever it's called. I don't know what they're calling.
That was the thing that was really impressive and cool to me. I mean, it's a given that the hardware is going to be upgraded when they release a new version. Our phones are only going to progress forward and get sleeker and slimmer and faster, and of course the technology is going to be more impressive. That's a given. But the applications and the abilities that they keep loading into the phone, what the phones can actually do. The Apple Pay, that was really cool. I mean, it's like an expanded tap ability. I've got tap on my debit and credit card, and I love it. It's super convenient to preload all of your cards into your phone and basically negate the need for a wallet and have it basically fits the tap feature out of your phone. That's super cool.
I like it. I know a lot of people out there are really concerned. Oh, how are they going to keep all your information and all this other stuff? I find, from what I'm reading and what I'm finding out on the iPay or whatever they're calling this thing, it's basically it's going to be safer than any of your cards, because it's going to give you a new number. It's completely random and it's going to be assigned one time for that one payment. So your numbers and anything that happens, if your phone gets stolen, you can use a app on your computer and basically wipe it. So any information that they could possibly get off your phone is gone, which is really handy. So I like the premise that they're going for. I like the idea of the iPhone. I like the payment feature on the phone. I think it's going to be good, but the question is, how long is it going to be until it gets in Canada? Because I know a lot of the states, they're going to be the ones that are going to get that kind of a feature right away. How long is it before our banks finally get on? And that's the other thing. The banks are handling a lot of the transaction part of the payment system, right? So they're all in for this. So how long is it before our banks get connected into the phone?
Well, and you also have to realize too, like our banks and their banks are not the same thing. They down there specifically deal in third-party debit, right? Like so, regardless if they're like, oh, I have my Visa debit card, it's still a third-party debit. We're straight debit to your bank. There's no intermediary between Visa or MasterCard. So
there is now, I think with our BMO account, it's TD. Sorry, TD is our Visa debit card now. I believe it's Visa. I can't remember, but they're using the Visa debit card now, which is different. Now Apple is going to be taking a little cut of this, payment system.
Of course they are.
I still, at the same time, I think it's going to be good. Like a lot of people are going to be skeptical of this, of course, but I think they're integrating this also with the watch, which, again, how many people are going to buy that watch? I don't know. If you're interested in the watch, let me know.
I don't need it. You know how many they're like, oh, this and that. And I'm like, if I want a running watch or whatever, I'll just buy a Garmin. 'Cause that's what they're designed for. I don't need I'm like, all my workout clothes come with pockets to fit my phone. So I don't need a watch. It's right there anyways.
Yes, Apple.
And there you have it. I would say that is the definitive answer about the Apple Watch.
I don't know. I already have an iPhone. You think about it, and there was something that you needed the newest phone or something for it to be compatible with the watch. So now not only do you have to upgrade your new phone, you have to then buy the watch. So you're like, oh great, that's just $700. And I'm like, no, I'd rather buy a costume because that's more practical. Whatever.
That's so much more practical than a phone.
So much more practical. Like, oh my god.
So anyways, we'll just keep going on our next item because I know a lot of people have already talked about all the Apple stuff, and I'm sure if you really want to go find out more information about it, we will have some links for everybody out there. But just turn on the internet, you'll find something on the Apple Watch or an Apple phone. It doesn't take. It's not that hard.
Ready.
So what's our next item?
Rolling on down the list, our next news item for the week. New Mexico, the state of New Mexico, is planning to auction off newly discovered rare old Atari video game cartridges that have been unearthed in a dump in New Mexico. Specifically, video game cartridges of the E.T. video game that has been dubbed the worst video game in the history of video games.
Yes. Now, when all this started, Microsoft had some sort of show that they're going to be producing. Now, with this show that they produced, they basically said there's this urban legend of all these ET cartridges that were dumped in this dump. And so basically, nobody ever verified this, and it just stayed an urban legend up until this show that was on. And they went out to the dump, and they found all the ET cartridges in the dump. Now, they're state property.
In addition to a bunch of there's cartridges for other games too.
Yes,
right?
there's cartridges for other games because once the company went belly up, they just dumped everything. So the ET cartridges were legendary, right? Because that's basically the whole crash of the video game market was on this game, basically. People went out in droves and bought this game and found out it was just junk, and nobody ever bought another game after that. So this was one of those things where it's a very historical game. A lot of people want to get their hands on it just because of where the significance of the cartridge. So I can see them going. I can see them going for, yeah, exactly. This is a collector's item, right? No one's ever gonna play the damn thing because it's an awful, awful game. Trust me, I played it.
There was a note at the end of the article that said the Museum of Rome specifically has a video game collection and has already contacted the town about working out some sort of deal to acquire some of these cartridges to add to its collection.
Yes. So it is like I cannot wait for the when Microsoft comes out with their TV thing on their console. It's going to be on there. I think there's a couple other ways you can watch this program. So I cannot wait for this show to actually show up on wherever it's going to show up. And for this I want to see how much these cartridges go for. I'm very excited about this.
Set up an eBay page, and they will be auctioning them off on eBay.
Yeah. The other thing is, because everyone who was there, nobody ever got a copy while they were in the dump because they are state property. Because they were in the dump, they were in the landfill. So when they went there, they had to sign, waivers saying that they can't take anything out of the dump. So everything that was unearthed, all those cartridges, they go straight to the state. And so the state is the ones that's going to be selling off the cartridges. So that is something to be looking forward to. Next item.
Next item down the list. Still shots from the set of the Batman vs. Superman movie reveal the newest incarnation of the Batmobile.
Now, did you guys take a look at these pictures yet?
Yeah,
No.
I did.
I'm not doing it. I don't like none of this spoilers.
You don't want to see it?
I want to see it when I go to the movie and see it.
Spoilers, bring them on.
It's a Batmobile, right? So I'm not. It has nothing to do with the actual plot of the story. We all know that there's going to be a Batmobile, and if we're going to see a trailer, I can guarantee you the thing is going to be in there.
Well, then I'll wait for the trailer.
So, anyways,
I like that they kept the slightly military design that sort of existed.
The Tumblr kind of look to it.
Batman Begins. Yeah.
Samantha's going to be plugging your ear for the next couple of minutes. I will wave at you when we need to talk to you again.
What?
I said I'll wave
We'll
at
give
you.
you a hand signal when we're done talking about the spoilers.
Okay.
Okay.
um,
So, anyways,
I'm not quite sure how I feel about the wing doors. On one hand, it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of a fun...
I will put the pictures up onto our website, and so people can see it right underneath our podcast page. The look of the Batmobile, I like it because it's a lot slimmer. I didn't like the big tumbler tank thing. I thought it was cool for what it was, but this is more going back to an actual Batmobile, like a car.
Yeah.
Where it's a little bit more agile. It still has a tank kind of feel to it, so I'll be interesting to see how they deploy this in the movie.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Only time will tell.
Yes.
Summer 2016.
I know, it's so far away. Man, these movies, they're getting further and further away. Spending more and more money. Anyways, wave at Samantha. You can stop. You can pull your hands out of yours. We'll be done for now. We'll move on to our next topic.
Plus, the next news item is something that I
will also
enjoy,
put these pictures up on the internet as well.
that is near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Minecraft.
No.
Minecraft has officially been bought
Oh,
by
that's the one.
Microsoft for $2 billion.
That's ridiculous.
$2.4 billion.
$2 billion.
Really? You're 2 billion. That's not enough. 2.4. You have to round it up, whatever. 4 more million. It's not a big deal.
That is a ton of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting part about this whole thing. Minecraft is on PlayStation. It's on Xbox. It's on PC. It's on everywhere. Android, Apple, everything has Minecraft on it. Now it's owned by Microsoft. Microsoft now has a product on PlayStation.
On Apple.
The PS4, the PS3. It has a product on Apple. It has a product on Android. Because it is now owned outright by Microsoft. So here's the little thing.
I think
there's a version that's supposed to be coming out for the PlayStation Vita as well. That version is not out yet. A lot of people are very excited for it. I believe that it will come out soon. I still think that they'll put out that version to the Vita. I don't think that's going to end. So it's interesting. That's a lot of different. It's a big game.
I think
it just keeps getting
it
bigger.
behooves them to keep it on as many platforms as possible. The question is, platforms like Apple and PlayStation, they now have the prerogative to charge a premium, and then any sort of cancellation of not moving forward, then the heat from the fans goes to Apple or PlayStation because they had the option to continue it, but didn't. I think that's how it'll play out if it's going to play out, right? Microsoft will charge a premium and let the other guys decide if they want to keep paying to keep the fan base support the people who play on their platforms.
Exactly. Now the other thing is there's going to be a lot of what's it called? Extra content that's going to probably be rolled out on the Xbox One, Xbox 360. A lot of the extra stuff is going to be first on Microsoft only. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to mess around too much with Mojang. I think they're just going to keep it the way it is. They're going to use it to make money. They're going to use it to make toys. They're going to make all sorts of stuff. They can do tons of stuff.
Yeah, the money in the merchandising alone that goes with it is ridiculous.
Exactly. So it'll be worth it, I believe, in the end, because it's not seeming to die. It's not one of those games that seems to be dying out. They can also come up with another version, like a Minecraft 2. They have the resources to do that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I don't know. The other thing is,
I've been on Minecraft since alpha, and the improvements that have just come through, in the updates and whatnot. And you log in, and you're like, I don't even remember anymore. What is this thing? What is that thing? Oh my god! It's a little ridiculous. We were staying with friends, and their son loves Minecraft, and he just wants to help you build everything possible, and then show you what you're building, but thing too. And it was just the punishment now is if you don't do whatever, no Minecraft, and that's devastating. Devastating. So many other games to play, but no Minecraft. So
there's so many people out there that do not call themselves gamers. They call themselves Minecraft. That's all they play. There's no other game that they play. They just, like a lot of kids nowadays, they don't play any other game. They just play Minecraft. That's it. It is a wild phenomenon. I like Minecraft. I love building things. I'll put up a castle or do some random little thing here and there. not anywhere near what some of these other people can build or create. Some of them are just crazy good at this game. Yay, here's a little castle I can build with one room.
Well, with all the switches and you can build in relay systems and networking, and you're just like, I don't have time for that.
I don't know how that works half the time.
Well, and that was one of the coolest things about Alpha is now, because I have it on, I have Minecraft on the Xbox, and it tells you what to do. You're like, oh, you need to build this. Well, you need these things. But when we had it on PC right when Alpha came out, you were like, I don't know. I'm just gonna fiddle with things until I can make. I made an axe. I am God. Right? It's that's kind of the thing that I'm missing a little bit is that you can't just fiddle around with things. Yeah, and that was one of the coolest things about this, the sandbox game, is that it was unlimited, and you had to do it all yourself and figure it out yourself, or ask people for help. And now it kind of just tells you what to do.
Yeah, still a lot of fun.
So much fun. And I love to dig pits for some reason. So I'll dig all the way down to bedrock, and a big open space for no apparent reason.
What you doing? Digging a hole?
Digging a hole.
Because I felt like it.
I'm digging to China.
That would be cool, though, if they could get it so you could go through
the world,
pop out on the other side. I'd like that.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, so Dan, guess who's listening?
Who's listening?
Aaron's listening. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Yeah.
I have the Q&A up. If you'd like to ask any questions while we're talking here, feel free to ask us anything while we're doing that.
Whenever you wanna.
Yep. I don't know if you guys know how to do this yet, but if you go to the sidebar menu, there's a Q&A thing. It should be.
It is indeed.
Should be there. So yeah, if you're out there listening, that's fantastic. I appreciate everyone there. Feel free to leave us a question, and we will answer it. Next on our list there, Chels.
News item, the next. KFC.
This is so gross.
Is entering into the world of computer accessories and has designed a KFC-themed keyboard and mouse and released it in Japan. And the pictures in that article, it's they're the weirdest looking. I can't
there's a
imagine
USB
having it on a desk.
There's a USB I don't even know what is that is a drumstick? It's so gross. Something. And I don't even know how you're supposed to use that keyboard. I don't even know what that is. It looks like the mouse. I don't even know what is that. Is that a drumstick?
My favorite part of the keyboard is up in the top left-hand corner. There's a little
escape
Colonel
button?
Sanders standing on the keyboard.
That's your escape button. Is Colonel Sanders standing on the corner of your keyboard, and the only keys you get are K, F, and C. Everything else is covered over by a piece of chicken.
I don't know. I mean,
how would that even feel comfortable typing? It's all bumpy and stuff.
It is the grossest looking thing in the world. I don't even know how you're supposed to use that USB stick at all.
Well,
it's plugged into a side of a laptop, but I think the drumstick USB thing is pushing up the laptop off the ground. It's so. Oh, Japanese.
I guess they're hoping to play into
They went with some sort of realistic
Japanese love of kitschy American pop culture. Maybe.
It is so gross.
Yeah. Okay. New topic. Let's keep it. Whatever.
The earrings. Did you? There's also earrings too. That.
What? In that link you sent?
Yep. You have to scroll over the pictures. There's arrows at the side there. It's the very last picture. There's earrings.
Oh. Oh, I did not scroll. That is not like this.
I will also post these pictures up on the channel there, so on the
Japan,
podcast page.
you are weird. How much time's left in the show? Apparently, Aaron's not listening live.
Oh, he's not listening live.
No, he doesn't. I don't know.
Tell him to skip to the live part.
He wants to know how much is left in the show.
We got a ways to go.
We've got a few more news items, and
Yep.
then you, Samantha, are going to give us all kinds of pro-convention tips.
Yeah, pretty much we're just gonna leave it up to Samantha. We're gonna sit back. I'm gonna go make
Yeah.
a coffee.
Hand over the reins.
Yeah, hand over the reins of the show to Samantha here.
I got that. That's good.
So let's just go over to the next news item here.
This was awesome. I found this and forwarded this to Dan, and I smiled the whole while I was doing it.
This is pretty amazing.
The Dr. Lou, a pub in the UK, on one of the walking trails that connects Bristol to Bath. Outside, on sort of their patio area, the owner bought a life-size police box, TARDIS, and turned the inside into a functioning restroom for patrons of the cafe and hikers on the trail to use. So it's all done up Victorian style, black and white tile, pedestal sink, toilet.
The best part is this is open to the public.
Yeah, anybody walking, hikers on the trail, anybody out, anybody can use the Dr. Lou. When you close the door, it's like an airplane bathroom. The police box light around the top lights up so that people know somebody's in there.
It's so awesome. I always wanted to know if it was bigger inside. It apparently it even bust that myth that it's not bigger inside, which is kind of sad. I thought you mentioned.
And frankly, in the realm of public
Somehow it would open up.
washrooms, it looks pretty nice.
It is pretty swanky.
It looks
Yeah.
pretty posable too. So I think that was a big plan. You just take them.
Yeah, in the article it says, so the owner of the cafe behind the bar has a doorbell wired to speakers outside, and when people pose for pictures, he presses the doorbell and it makes the TARDIS sound. So you can pose while the TARDIS is making the TARDIS sound.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Pretty awesome.
So yeah, that news article put a smile on my face, made my day when I found that one.
Now, do you watch Doctor Who at all?
Me?
Yes.
It's on Netflix, so I'm watching it in snippets here and there.
It's really good.
Also, Joel makes me, and I'm so happy that he does.
I enjoy it. I tried watching the old stuff, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't even make it through the first episode. I was just
See,
like,
and that's the stuff that I remember when I was growing up was the
David Tennant,
the
Matt
really
Smith,
old
stuff.
stuff, and I cannot get over that. It's just so bad. People will probably shoot me right now. I do not like Doctor Who.
Well, the old stuff is so fun to watch because it is so kitschy.
That's the thing, right? But when you're growing up and you see that stuff, and it's just like, I don't want to watch this. There's no reason for me to watch this. Now I can see the appeal of it, but
It's no more kitschy than the Gorn fight or the Trouble with Tribbles in the original Star Trek.
yeah, but the Troubles with Tribbles is just still amazing. That's still a classic.
The Gorn
Classic.
fight?
Yeah.
Come on. Yes.
That's also amazing.
Yep.
He does the double fist.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that fight. That was an epic fight.
Yep.
was epic.
So that's why you watch the old stuff, for the cheesy awesomeness like that. And then you watch the new stuff because David Tennant and Matt Smith, awesome.
Yeah, I heard the new one was really good too. the new Doctor. I believe that's already out, isn't it?
I can't keep
I
track.
don't know.
I watch it. I don't know. I'm 2 seasons behind, I think, on Netflix.
Yeah. Anyways, next item.
Down the list, this one is rad. As a girl who likes to swing swords, there is new evidence out that suggests that approximately 50% of all Viking warriors were, in fact, female, which is
That is amazing.
Cool.
yeah.
A lot of people believed that they were the ones that were stayed home, taking care of the brood, and they waited for their Viking men to come home, and that's not true. That apparently that's actually false.
Up until this point, apparently a lot of the identification had been based purely on artifacts. So in the burial mounds of warriors, they're buried with all of their armor and their proper burial, whereas women were buried with brooches and jewelry, etc. But in recent years, a lot of the burial mounds that have been discovered, they've been doing more detailed sort of research on the bones themselves. And evidence shows that about 50% of the skeletons that they're finding are female, and female warriors who, just like their male counterparts, were buried with all of their weaponry and armor in a proper warrior's burial.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Okay, we're down to our last two items. These are very exciting because you know what? These are Edmontonian events, or not necessarily events. Like this is something that's ongoing. The next one here. What's this all about, Chelsea?
Well, I guess I'll kind of swap them around a bit, and I'll talk about Stay Dead events first.
Sure.
That one's coming up at the end of this week.
Yeah, that one's coming out at the 20th, isn't it?
Saturday the 20th.
Yes.
The evening of Saturday the 20th, overnight to Sunday the 21st. Just outside the city at a paintball range. I've forgotten which one, but it is on their website, Stay Dead Events.
Yes.
And they are a company that specializes in post-apocalyptic zombie survival scenarios. So they turn you loose in a 12-hour scenario in a contained environment, shopping malls, sports complexes. In this case, it's a closed paintball arena. In a post-apocalyptic zombie land, and you get to see how well you survive.
This is awesome.
Yep.
Like, I saw some of the videos, I saw some of the things that you're allowed to do. You're allowed to shoot these zombies in the face with little BB guns. Not BB guns, but they're like the airsoft. Because
and the masks that they give to people who are zombies are airsoft proof. Safety is huge for them. If you go to their website, they have a whole rundown of rules and regulations, which is awesome.
Yeah, there's a fact on there. Everything is pillageable. You can take whatever you want. Like, there's, different airsoft guns that are going to be scattered around, different kinds of weapons, axes and knives and all sorts of different things. Food items for you to eat during the night. You're supposed to bring a flashlight, a
clear water bottle,
a can opener, and a satchel or backpack.
Yeah.
And
it is
everything else you pillage in game.
Yep.
And they like very much LARPing style role playing. They want you to get right into it.
They want you to be into the game. So if you are dead, you are dead, kind of thing. Which would kind of suck if you died within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Very specific rules for how to deal with if you're bitten. You can attempt to cut off the bitten body part, depending on if it's a limb.
And you can, bandage it up and, not use that arm or something like that, right?
And if you bite the dust, if you die, you come back as a zombie. So
Ooh,
the event is
I did
not
not
over
see
for
that.
you. Yes, you have to wait a certain amount of time on the playing field,
Yeah.
and then you leave the playing field. There are very specific instructions for how you leave the playing field, and you go to the zombie orientation tent, which I love. That's what it's called, the zombie orientation tent. And you were oriented on how to become one of the shambling horde.
That is amazing.
That's how you spend the rest of your evening.
That is awesome. I thought of, like, I really want to go do this. I don't think I have time this weekend to go.
No, it's
Yeah.
sold out already. You can't go.
Did
it's
they?
Sold out. It's sold out.
There's another
I
one.
believe they have a
Apparently,
waiting
there's a
list.
Red Deer
You can
event.
take your chances and show up for the waiting list. So if they have the event, but then it's kind of like you
Oh.
drive out there and you wait and see, and
Yeah,
if you're not,
so-
then you drive home again.
Yeah. It looks amazing.
Wow.
But they run them fairly regularly, so keep your eyes peeled on their website because they're likely to run one again soon.
I will be
Ugh.
bookmarking this because I want to take part in something like this. This looks
Okay, the next one
Incredible.
that comes along, if I see it first or you see it first, because Joel and I have talked about doing this, so we should make a team and make
Oh.
it happen.
we are going.
Excellent.
This is there's no debate. We are just going. I've already tried to convince Trina into going to this. She's a little bit freaked out by the idea of being trapped inside a room. But what are we talking about there, Chelsea?
They are contained, but it's larger scale, right? So I know that in past they've done events in like a big hockey arena. They've done events in a shopping mall. Yeah. So it's not super claustrophobic, but contained enough that the mediators and runners of the game can moderate effectively. So
It's awesome.
yeah.
I don't know if I can do this. These ones, they sound super cool, but I would be terrified.
They give you a safe word. If anything actually goes down, there's a safe word.
You're
that
still
is
talking about
respected by the players
the
in
zombies,
game.
right?
So,
No, I'm talking about either of these. I
know.
I'm with Trina on this one. Can we just? I will go and watch you play, but I will just sit outside and have pizza.
Okay, so the next thing here is this breakout.
kind of related.
Yes.
Another company in the city that will be opening very soon. They exist elsewhere, but are just opening up in Edmonton. Breakout Entertainment. So they run, I believe there are 4 different 45-minute scenarios. And they run, I believe, out of, what is it, the Mayfield Hotel?
No, hang on. Where was it?
But basically, it's up to 6 people in this room, and they're kind of like, think, you know, the super old school, like an evening of murder mystery board game where you kind of get clues and you have a limited amount of time to figure out who done it or what's going on or what the scenario is. Think that on like a grand scale.
It's in the Mayfield Plaza.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got one that's sort of CSI themed, where you have to try and solve a murder. They've got another one that's at the Louvre, so like museum, ancient artifact, mystery, secret passage. They have another one that's very like slasher, grotesque. I get the sense of from what the description described it as.
The
Yes.
Secret Laboratory says Victor Von Doom has
Yes.
launched something.
Yeah.
And then Secret Laboratory trying to save the world from crazy Victor Von Doom created, I believe it's poison, super killer virus or something like that.
There is 2 rooms that look really frightening. Trina said if she does go, she wants to try the Gala, which is the Louvre one,
The Louvre one.
because
yeah.
she doesn't think she'll be so scared on that one.
But yeah,
I-
so 45 minutes, up to 6 people, and you go in and you got to try and all of the rooms are sealed, and I guess a win for the scenarios is solving them to get yourselves out of the room.
which is
So
awesome.
Yeah.
I cannot. I want to try this so bad.
live action brain puzzles.
Yes.
Seriously.
What do you think, Samantha?
I don't know. Like, I keep seeing like Saw in my mind, and I'm just like, why? And like I play those like escape the car, escape the room like games online, and I get trapped and then frustrated, and then I have to Google the walkthrough, and then I just die.
Well, I don't think you can Google while you're in the room.
First, you assemble a crack team first of 6 people, so you go in and you're not alone.
That's true.
So you just need to
Maybe.
put part of your mind into it.
Maybe for your birthday, Dan. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe.
You are a fan of the live action. Your Artemis birthday party was pretty rad.
Yes. Last year for my birthday we did Artemis, and if you don't know what Artemis is, that is
Google
a
it and find
spaceship.
out.
Yes, it's a spaceship bridge simulator. So everybody takes a role on a spaceship bridge, basically. So it's a computer game. Everybody gets their own computer.
There's no costume.
Well, you can make costumes.
Tactical, communications, engineering, captain.
Yes. It is a ton of fun.
You can play as the Enterprise, you can play as the Galactica, you can play as... It's awesome.
Yeah, like there's a couple mods I have for the game, so you could be the Battlestar Galactica, you could be, the Spaceship Enterprise, any of the Enterprises. There's a few other ships that you can be. There's also the Artemis class starships as well, which is, like I said, the game is so much fun. You get to be communications, or the captain, or there's so many different parts of the ship, and everybody controls their own specific section of that ship. So weapons
on their own laptop.
Only takes care of the weapons, and the captain, yelling out orders, trying to, get everybody to work as a team.
Yeah, tactical arm weapons. Now you've got navigation and helm, communication, engineering. I'm trying to think what were the other stations that we have.
You can do this? Or is it like you all have to have your own?
I have a copy. And so basically what I can do with my copy is I can give it out to my 6 friends or whatever it is, and we can play the game, or 4, 5 friends.
So that we're all
players.
patched in
Yeah.
to Dan's.
To my actual computer. So what I did is I actually have it set up in my house. I have I'll take my big
screen.
I put it downstairs into the basement. I have the main computer running with that main screen on, so you can see what's going on for the captain and for everybody else.
Like the view screen of the ship.
Yeah, it's the view screen for the ship. And then everyone will take a role in the ship, and usually I end up being captain because I usually know what's going on with everybody else's different locations. So basically what you get is you get a helm, which will fly the ship. You get weapons, so that's the guy who takes care of all the shooting. You get engineer.
I've watched Star Trek. I know who these people are.
Yes. So engineer will take care of all the cooling and adding different power to different systems. That's a lot of fun. I love engineer. Also, there's communications.
That was super fun because you have the option when you come across
you
new
can taunt people
of how you want to interact with them, including you can hail them with insults. Basically, if you want to pick a fight, you can hail them with insults. It's awesome.
So when are we playing? Because that sounds fantastic. Like we should do that.
we will. I will put up another Artemis night.
Okay.
It is a lot of fun.
And
what was the last one
Aaron
here?
wants to play too. He's telling me.
Is he? You can tell him you can put questions and things. You can chat with us on the.
I did, but I don't know how. It's really, Dan, you want me to explain computer stuff to him? Really? How many times did I go out last time? Like, frack.
So, Aaron, you can ask us any question you would like. I know you're the one who's watching, so you can ask us any questions you like by asking us a question on the question bar thing. I don't know how to explain that better than that. What was the other spot there. I know there's 5 spots. I said helm. I said
Tactical engineering.
Do you have like a second in command?
Captain.
yes. I usually pick a second in command, which is usually my. Oh, which spot does he usually have?
We could just Google Artemis and the things right now. We can do that.
Anyways,
Super fun.
it is a lot of fun. I love it. It's hard to get 6 people in the same room though. That's the thing. You can also do a 2-bridge scenario, or multiple bridges. So you can have a bridge upstairs, or you can have a bridge somewhere else, and then you can have a bridge in the another room.
Ooh, this site is not as. Okay.
It's a very low budget. Like, it's one guy who builds the game and
Alright.
keeps it updated. And so, like, yeah, the website's not the greatest, but it's, like I said, it is a ton of fun. And you might not find all the information on that.
I really need 6 players. 5 helm, weapons, science, engineering, and comms.
Science. That was the other station.
Yeah, okay.
Science. Science, that's the last one. That's
Yeah.
right. So yeah, usually it's my science officer who is my first officer in the ship, because he's not always doing stuff other than clicking on ships. and
Very
trying to find information.
Spock-esque.
Yeah, exactly, Spock. So it's a lot of fun. I just absolutely love that game. And I think that's all we have for news items.
Yeah.
That
Moving
is-
on to something else that's really fun. Conventions.
That
And
is right.
convention tips with Samantha.
That's me. Sorry, I am getting like 900 texts here. So this weekend, actually, is the Saskatoon Comic and Entertainment Expo, hosted by the same people that do Edmonton and Calgary. So that's where I'm going to be. But we're going mostly because friends of ours who are avid costumers, who met costuming, who love costuming, they costume together as a family. They're getting married this weekend at the convention center. So that's actually really cool. He proposed to her in Calgary a year ago, 2 years ago, and it was perfect and magical, and everybody cried, and it was great. And then now they're getting married at the convention, which is really cool because the people that are running the convention was like, "You can use our hall. This is fantastic." So, Joker's going to be officiating. I don't
And
know.
what better convention would you have without a Joker?
I know, officiating your wedding ceremony?
Officiating your
Come on,
wedding.
like, whatever, you know.
Exactly.
Romantic.
It's
really-
Darth Vader walking down the aisle. How perfect
Exactly.
is that?
He is a father figure. and all.
Aaron wants to know, am I supposed to comment on the site or the YouTube channel?
I believe it's on the YouTube channel or the Google one. I don't know. Sorry.
Wherever you can find
Because
a
I
space,
don't
we
know.
will find your question and answer it.
Yeah.
Aaron, you just keep texting me. I'll answer your questions if you have any.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So anyways, what else do we have here? For me, the first thing for me is when I go to a convention is I like to plan out my convention as much as I possibly can. I do allow for time to not make a certain panel or something like that. You cannot always make all the panels that you want to get into. So you got to be able to plan for failure. Also, in my plan, I also put in eating, because a lot of times when I'm at a convention, I kind of get lost in what I'm doing out there. So I will plan a certain time for me to go out and eat food,
Find sustenance.
find substance, and also I also bring some water with me so I can have some water, because a lot of times I forget to drink.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've been doing conventions for a gazillion years.
Yes.
And I've been doing them both cosplaying and not cosplaying. So, different things you need when you go to a convention in normal clothes or if you go in a costume. We'll start with normal clothes because that's the easiest one. Comfortable shoes, like, and I'm
Very
not,
key.
I'm like, don't wear those cute little boots that you picked out, whatever. No, wear your gym runners. Wear something that you were okay to be on a cement floor in for 8 to 12 hours standing, not walking. Standing. A lot of what you do at a convention is stand. You stand in line to get in. You stand in line to look at a booth. You stand in line to meet a guest. You stand in line to get your photo taken. You stand in line to go to the bathroom. You stand in line to get food. You stand in line all the time.
A lot.
A lot.
That's the other thing, is lines are your friends. You will meet a lot of people in line just because there's nothing else for you to do than to talk to the person beside you. So enjoy your time in the line as much
Be
as possible.
social.
Be social. And be friendly.
Find buddies. You're all going to the same place. You're here for that. It's super easy to be like, hey man, I think your shirt's pretty cool. And they'd be like, yeah, it's this. Right? Like, Heck, what is that? That is Firefly. That is... yeah. So, simple as, hey, that's a pretty cool shirt. Where did you get it? And then
Exactly.
he usually throws up. So, I was at Dragon Con, and that's how that happened.
There's so many things that you can find out about people while you're standing in line, which is, again, there's a lot of lines and there's a lot of standing, so yes, comfortable shoes is key.
Know what you want to buy and plan accordingly. So bring enough cash. Bring something to carry your prints in. Like go to like one of the like Michaels or whatever and buy a portfolio book. It will save your life. Like that. Hi Trina.
Yeah, Trina's here now.
Hi Trina.
She's saying hi. She can't hear you because I'm wearing the earphones.
There we go. Okay.
No.
So I would say, like, think about what you're going to be buying, right? Because as much fun it is to buy all these prints, what happens to them when you have to like now fold them to fit them all in, and then now you've just destroyed your prints, or because there is so many people, somebody bumps into you by accident and crushes a print. Buy a portfolio book. They're like $20. It will save your life. I have one. I throw it in my suitcase to every convention we go to. Except I forgot it.
Very good idea.
But then you throw the prints in there, and then they're safe and they're okay, and then they don't get damaged, and everything's okay that way. Bring snacks, right? Even if you're planning on eating.
Hang on, 2 seconds. Okay, I'm going to take this off. We got another panelist here. Trina will be joining us for now. Yes, you will.
Hey!
Yeah.
All-girl panel.
Woohoo!
See, here's the thing. We got lots of females who like to join us in the show here.
Sure.
Trina will sit in here. But yeah, so you're talking about food, right?
Yes.
Bring snacks.
Bring food.
Food. So when you're at a convention, bring food. Like, like bring a granola bar, bring a stand, bring a fruit roll-up, bring something. Because as much as you want to you're like, oh, I'm just gonna eat at the con. You'll be like, oh, I am hungry all of a sudden. I need to get food, and then you have to stand in
And
line.
the line for food is stand in line and wait for how long?
Oh, I don't know, an hour, half an
Yeah.
hour. Bring a snack. Bring a snack. Bring a snack.
2 or 3.
Trail mix is good.
Trail mix, yep. Something. And especially if you're conning with kids or even adults who forget to eat. Last year, Edmonton, on the Sunday, I completely forgot to eat, and I was sitting there at the booth, and I'm like, why am I so tired? And then I had a mini donut, and I was like, oh, because this is the only thing I've eaten today. Just
Yeah,
do that.
don't forget to eat.
Yeah.
That is very, very, very important.
Have breakfast. And then bring snacks with you, because it just not eating makes your whole entire convention just crap. You're like, I don't know why I'm hungry and I feel funny and my head hurts and yeah, no. Eat. Just eat. What else? So as normies, bring something to carry your stuff in. And I'm not talking like a massive backpack or any of that sort of thing. Just bring a decent sized bag. Nothing worse than being stuck behind that guy who's got a massive backpack and keeps hitting you with it when you're trying to get through the thing. And you're just like, dude, I hate you right now. I don't know you, but I'm going to murder you. I'm going to track you down. I'm going to find you. Yeah, that guy. Don't be that guy. Bring cash too, right? Like a lot of places.
Yeah, is the longest line there.
Yeah. A lot of places now will take like credit or debit at their booths. A lot of places will do the squares and whatnot. But bring cash because having to go to the ABM and stand there for like an hour to get a 20 out.
$5 to do so.
And then even with that, sometimes you'll get to the front of the line and realize that the cash machine is empty because they only hold so much money. So bring cash. Just do it. And not 20s. Go to your bank. Get 5s and 10s. The artists and vendors will love you because that's all they're doing. They're breaking 20s all day long. So what do they have? 20s. And you're like, I need to make change. How am I going to make change? Come on. Right? Like, be courteous to those people that are there.
Just realize that when you go in there, there's a large vendor hall with a lot of stuff that you are going to want to buy.
And don't wait and come back, because you won't be able to find the booth again.
Yeah.
Or it'll be sold out.
Or if you do, what you want will be gone.
Yeah.
If you see it, like it, buy it. Maybe, like, think about walk the rest of the aisle, and if you're like, well, I don't know, go back and get it. Because there are times where I was like, oh, that thing is and it's gone. Okay.
If you know that there's probably a couple booths that will have that certain item, maybe go check those other booths out, and if it's one of those things, a lot of times people will have it cheaper somewhere else. So sometimes it's a good idea to check around and make sure, if you're there early enough, make sure you do that on the first day.
And make sure you remember where the booth is.
Yeah.
Another really good thing to do is the booths are all given numbers, right? So if you find something you like at the booth, ask them what their number is. Take a picture of their sign with your phone. Keep that, and then like make a note. Be like, the cufflink ring thing I found and loved that was Harley based. This booth and table number. Because once you have the booth and table number, you can open your program and you can find them. Right? So
with Trina and I, we went to the Calgary one there last year, and we were looking at some hoodies and stuff like that. We found a big rack of hoodies that we really liked, like I really liked, which was that Darth Vader one I have now, and the Chewbacca one, and the Han Solo Inside Out. And they were super expensive at the one booth that we went to, but I thought, we'll go search around for a little while and see what else we can find, because it was obviously too much there. And we found this other booth that sold me both those hoodies 2 for 1. And it was so much cheaper there. I think I spent less on the 2 hoodies than it would have cost me for the 1 hoodie at the other place, right? So it's sometimes a good idea, if you know that there's going to be a couple of places that are going to have these kinds of items, go and take a look and see if you can find it somewhere else for a little bit cheaper. Sometimes you'll find it cheaper, and if not, sometimes it's good to haggle.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, are they okay with your haggling? And
a lot of people
sometimes
are when you're there.
Yeah, especially like on the last day of the con, like the Sunday or whatever.
They don't want to haul all that stuff back if they don't have to.
Nope. And I am kicking myself because in Dragon Con, Ultra Savers was there, and they were having a massive sale, and it was like 5 minutes before the vendor hall was closing. They were talking about it, and I'm like, I can't fit them in my suitcase, I don't know. And then we got kicked out, and I was just upset at myself for not getting a cheap saber. But that's the thing, right? Like, people are like, I don't want to haul this back.
My friend Tessa works at Dark Age Creations. They sell armor and weapons and beautiful swords, all kinds of stuff. And they go to cons quite often with truckloads of stuff for sale. And on the last day, there is always wiggle room, because hauling armor and swords back home is never as fun as hauling armor and swords to the con. So, yeah.
Yeah, after the vendors, a lot of times they'll be tired by the time that the convention ends. So I mean, yeah, I can understand why they wouldn't want to carry a lot of that stuff back with them. So yeah, maybe a little bit of haggling on the last day might be a good idea.
A little haggling, and no, don't be ridiculous. Don't be like, hey, that's $120 item. I'll give you $5 for. That's not a thing. You are basically stealing money from somebody because they had to make that or get that or do whatever. Like we have a booth for the expos, and sometimes they'll come in and they'll be like, hey, that print I'll give you $1 for, and we're like, no. Somebody had to make that. Somebody had to spend the time to do that, and somebody had to design that. You can't have it for $1. We have
a
it.
garage sale.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not a garage sale. That's not okay. But just be reasonable with things and be friendly with people about things, right? Like we're there, we're tired. We've probably been there as a vendor, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours earlier than you, and probably will still be staying a couple hours after you've gone home, after the event closes. So
another thing would be to be nice to the volunteers too. A lot of times they don't really know at the beginning what's going on. So you ask them a question, sometimes they won't know. But don't be mean to them, because they're not,
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
They're a volunteer. Conventions can't run without volunteers. People who are giving their time, they're not being paid, their free time to go and help you have a better experience. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, they're not getting paid. They're just there to kind of keep some order, and they're just being told what they have to be told, right? And sometimes it's just good just to listen to them. If they're telling you to go somewhere, just go that way. Stop arguing with people. Because a lot of times these conventions can get really hectic, and sometimes, things happen.
And, like Calgary with the fire marshals a few years ago. Yeah, you know what?
It was out of their control.
Yeah, it was out of control, and yeah, there was that. But there are reasons and rules why things are in place. And if a fire had happened with everybody in the convention, we would have all been dead. So, come on.
On that one, I went out for a smoke and couldn't get back in. So that was the end of that day. But Sunday was really good.
That happens. But then again, we go right back to you're standing in line, make friends, right?
Exactly.
Turn around, see who's there. Tons of cosplayers got stuck outside, right? And go and talk. Stuck outside, I heard. So. Hell, it's free then. You don't have to pay to see them. They're stuck outside with you. Come on.
Yeah.
Just try to make the best of it, right? Because that's what it is. Don't let something silly get in the way of you having a good time.
Exactly.
So good shoes, eat, water, be friendly.
Lines are your friends.
Lines are your friends. You learn to love them.
Talk about celebrities, autographs, and how.
Yes, and even cosplayers. When you're going around taking pictures of people, ask permission.
Yeah.
That
we'll have no problem. But if I'm in the middle of eating something, I really don't want you to take my photo. Is my makeup okay? I just sat down. I've been on my feet for an hour, 8 hours in heels. No upskirt shots.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Not okay.
Ever.
Right? Ever. In the privacy of your own home. Fine. You know that person.
If you have permission.
That is okay. In a convention where there are children and people present, it's just not okay. Ask permission. Ask permission. And always, regardless of sex, gender, whatever. And if they're kids, ask the parents' permission, okay? Nothing worse than being that guy or that girl at a convention taking pictures of little children. Just remember, right? While it could be completely innocent, and the parents might even be like, yeah, whatever, who knows what the person standing next to the parents is thinking. So just remember about that, right? And, you know, if you're a cosplayer, be nice to the people that want to take your photo. You worked hard on that. Show it off. Don't be an ass. Like that.
Exactly.
They appreciate what you did. They love who you are. So that's okay. You know?
And it's the same with the celebrities. Like, there's going to be some celebrities that are going to be walking around, or, you know, you'll from time to time you'll see them in a group of people with, you know, bodyguards all around them. Don't just run up to them and just start taking pictures and doing stuff.
No.
If they're away from somebody, you know, you can talk to them. Just ask permission.
Well,
Everything, always ask permission. Be nice. Be courteous.
yeah, and they're usually on a schedule. They have certain things that they have to be there. And you stopping and being like, hey man, I just want to talk to you for 5 minutes, means that's 5 minutes less time that they have now to spend with all those people that have just been standing in that line that you looked at and didn't want to do. That's not okay, right? Those people are waiting there specifically for that person. And
Well,
you are
when you're
taking
getting an autograph too, don't take all their time. You know, don't bring 800 things to get autographed, and don't, you know, expect to stand there and talk for 10 minutes. I mean, a lot of the celebrities are really great, and they'll talk to you for a few minutes, but be respectful of their time and the other people in line with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Now, so we've really talked about being a normie, or a non-cosplayer on the convention floor. So being a cosplayer, the difference is, there's a few differences. When you are going to a con, know the costumes you're going to be wearing. Think about them. Think about the environment they're going to be in. I learned that lesson for Dragon Con. My Princess Leia Harley costume is fantastic for Canadian conventions because it's cold. Not so good in Dragon Con. I think I maybe had that on for 2 hours and I was like, I am boiling. This needs to come off or I'm going to pass out because it's too hot. So think about things like that, right? Also think about your footwear, right? If you fantasy footwear is not real footwear. It sucks. It hurts. Maybe buy a size bigger of your shoes and put a really good insole in. It's fantastic that way. Realize you will be stopped a ton, like every 3 steps. Don't stop in hallways or passageways or doorways. Move out of the way. Move to the side. Be like, sure, I'd love to. You can come take my photo, but we need to move over here. People will be happy to go with you.
Oh yeah.
But don't block other people's way because you're standing there and somebody else behind you who's just been standing in line and probably is hungry and now you're blocking the way to the food. You are that person and they hate you and they'll find you. You know, just saying. So just, be aware of those kind of things. Also, bring things to fix your costume. Stuff rips, right? Cosplay costumes are not always up for normal wear and tear, right? Like they're lighter weight fabric sometimes, or they're armor pieces, or your mask is gonna fall off your face because you didn't glue it on tight enough, right? Like my con bag that I have I have a handler that usually comes with me. I find a friend to come with me, and I'm like, can you carry all my stuff? So that's something you can do too, and I give them extra eyeliner and lipstick and my Pros-Aid to glue my mask to my face and extra makeup and there's a sewing kit usually and a bottle of water and a granola bar and things like that because it is very hard to be on all the time, and when you're a cosplayer you are presenting an image that you need to maintain, right? So you are always like, I'm here, I'm smiling, I'm starving and my feet hurt and I really think you smell and I'm just going to keep smiling through this entire photo. That's fantastic. And you have to keep doing that, and you do that all day. You will get hungry, you will get tired, you will get thirsty. Be prepared. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to kind of cut this part short because we are running out of time for tonight.
If anybody wants more cosplay tips, Edmonton Cosplayers on Facebook, find us,
Yes.
just ask.
Well, find Samantha on Facebook or wherever you find.
I won't ask you, don't find me on Facebook.
No?
No, Edmonton Cosplayers, ask general questions.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah.
Is there a website?
It's just on Facebook, just
Oh, it's
Edmonton
on
Cosplayers.
That's my friend. Yes.
Yes.
Cosplayers on Facebook. Go find there. Go find Samantha. So, anyways, yes, like I said, we were kind of running really long tonight. So I want to kind of close up. I apologize because we went a little long tonight. We had some good discussions. So, anyways, Chelsea, where can people find our upcoming event?
Several places. Upcoming events on the website, on the Facebook page. Yeah. Also, they can check out this and many other awesome videos on the YouTube channel. We're all over the interwebs. We're everywhere.
We're in the interweb.
Webbed
We're
in the web.
in the web of the
Yeah.
So yes, come find us. We're all over the internet. On northernnerd.com, on youtube.com/Northern Nerd Network, facebook.com with Northern Nerd, and even on the paulpress.com.
You didn't say Twitter.
Oh yeah, and we're also on Twitter, which is @Northern_Nerd. That is it. That is all we have time for tonight. I appreciate everyone out there watching this episode of the Northern Nerd Network. I want to thank everyone out there for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.